What's going on, guys? BlackPanthaa here. Welcome to a Need for Speed video. So I'm just going to be talking about what I think the series is going to be doing next, that sort of thing, because we're pretty close to E3 and we're going to see what's coming next, if there is anything coming next, and if it's coming out this year. I mean, we may see a little glimpse of it, even if it's not coming out this year, but there were a lot of articles saying that Need for Speed may be dropping out of the yearly cycle just after the release of Need for Speed Rivals. Now that would benefit the game a lot, especially because Ghost is quite a small team. Now there are about 90 staff members as last we heard. We haven't heard anything since then. And I'm guessing if we do see something at E3 we'll hear about numbers and so on that we need to a bit later. But it still leaves me worried and kind of not sure exactly where it's all going to go. I have a kind of an idea of where it's going, but that would really literally drive the game into the ground, because Need for Speed Rivals at the minute is sitting at 2.5 million sales. It's because the last game was absolutely garbage. The last game was garbage. I mean, they're not all that bad, but I mean, if you compare them to the content and quality of older games, you can see that the content and quality of the older games is much higher. Everyone can agree. It doesn't matter if you like Underground or the era before Underground or the era just after Underground. All those games had more polish than the games do today. They're more time, more effort, they take more skill, that sort of thing. And you can see it's all gone. And I can see why, but at the same time, it would really make more sense for EA to pump a big amount of money into the game to see how it does. If it fails then get rid of it. Rather than doing what they're doing at the moment, it seems, is when a game does sell badly, make the next one even worse. Just milk the fans. And if we don't get enough money, we'll sell DLC, overpriced DLC, £5 for 2 cars. That's how ridiculous it's become. It's not even about racing on this game, it's who's got the most ability to dodge pursuit tech, or choose the best pursuit tech, or hit someone with an EMP before they die. It's become Battlefield in a small map. And that's why I just dislike it. This is not a racing game. What the hell have we been what have we been playing for the past year? Not even a year, but yeah. But you know what I mean? What have we been given? This is not a racing game. Never mind not Need for Speed. This is a joke. That's what it is. So if they pump in even less money in the next game, where is that going to leave us? This game already feels like it was developed in about 2 months. It really does. Because you jump on the game, you do the story, and then there's absolutely nothing to do. And the story lasts maybe 6 hours. Bullcrap, the race's story lasts 6 hours, because it's much, much shorter than that. And once you finish the story, racing games usually have the edge of being able to then, because you're a racing fan, you like cars, you want to get to another car, even though you've beat the game, so you earn towards that car. But it's not difficult, because by the time you've beat the game, you've got enough for pretty much every car, and if you don't, you can do one event and you'll have enough for the next car that you want anyway. It's just, there's absolutely nothing. And this is, next game may possibly have a less, a smaller budget. It's absolutely crazy. So, as I said, I want to know what you think, because I want to, see what you guys think is going on at Ghost. A Ghost, moving on, as I said at the beginning, to a 2-year cycle, 3-year cycle, taking more time, or do you think it's gone? Now, I'm going to tell you what I think so far. At the minute, I think they're going to stick with the yearly cycle. I think EA is going to try and push this, milk this cow until it is dead. Never mind dry, dead. And that's how I see EA, because we're on 2.5 million sales with Rivals, right? The last game sold about 4.5, I think it was, and before that was 5.5 and that sort of thing. It's constantly declining. It was doing the exact same up until Underground released. I want to be able to say, oh yeah, Underground 3 is coming out this year. Bang. Everyone's like, whoa, I know, it would be fantastic, it would be amazing, but I don't see it. They're not going to pump that money into it. This is EA. Unless they want to surprise me because they've got a new lead and so on, but it's the FIFA guy. And, I mean, why don't you just take the Ultimate Team money and shove some of that into Need for Speed, see how it does. If it fails, scrap it. That's what the fans want. At least end on an attempt to try do something better. Seriously. It's just, if you look back, Underground 1 was a very, very, very basic game. It was just a tuner scene version of the last Need for Speed that came before it, kind of thing. That's basically what it was. There was no free roam, there was no big budget thing. It was just Underground. And then they actually saw that thing sold. So while making a sequel to that, because the development would have been in process while the money was starting to flow in from the last game, they were able to improve stuff, make an open world, make all this, make all that, and then it sold brilliantly again. So you can easily tell where all the great acting and the music and the amount of cars, everything, Most Wanted was the next generation Underground, and then Carbon, and you get the idea. They improved in quality over time, but very recently, really, this generation, they dropped off a cliff. They killed it with Pro Street. It started to die. It wasn't that bad, didn't sell that bad because the game before it was great. People bought it, and then Undercover saw a massive drop in sales, not because it was bad, but because the game before it was bad. That seems to be the very big cycle with Need for Speed. If the game before is bad, the next game is going to do absolutely terribly. So, which also adds into the point, will Rivals kill the sales of Underground 3 if it does actually come out? I don't think it affected that much, to be quite honest, because they're already on 2.5 million. It's not enough. It's not a lot. It's tiny, minuscule. I don't know how they're even going to make profit on that. But E3 will tell, I guess. Let me know your thoughts, as I said, down below. Do you think they're going to make Underground 3? Do you think they're going to make Rivals 2? What do you think they're going to make? I mean, where can they go with the Cops vs. Racer driving down straight roads, Hot Pursuit style game this year, if they do another one? They can't. They've milked the cow, it is dead. They need to do Underground with high-end cars as well. That's all they need to do. Make a sequel to Carbon with high-end cars in there as well, because Carbon had high-end cars. That's literally what you've got to do. Carry on from Carbon. Do something that's not Need for Speed Rivals, Hot Pursuit, that sort of stuff. As I said, before I make this video too long, make sure to let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. I'll be replying to your comments as soon as I get them, because I really just want to see where everyone's stance on this is. Anyway, see you in the next video, guys. BlackPanthaa out. Peace.